go. All right, so Gepetto, man, how you feeling today?
I'm feeling wonderful. How you doing today?
I'm good. I'm good, man. I will say I think that when this video goes up, including the one we did before the other
Yes,
day,
sir.
um, be prepared, man, because your face gonna be everywhere. Let's start from the beginning, man. Where are you from? Where you come from? Tell us a little bit about.
All right. My name again is Andre Van, aka Gepetto Jackson. I was originally born in Boston, Massachusetts. My mother, actually, my adopted mother is Bobby Brown's sister, which is Leola Brown. They grew up together with my mom in the Orchard Park Projects. They grew up together and took care of me. And from there, family got connected. My father situation, where still, people ask is, Jermaine Jackson, my father, and I just say, it's a tight niche. Very, very close to the family. Um, been doing a lot of work for years, even with the second generation. And now here I am. Again, I would say 10 times iTunes Top 100 artists. Just had a number one album called Jermainish. You should go check that out. It's amazing. Good, tough 10 songs. And here I am today.
And here you are today. And for the people that's catching this video and not the last one, we broke down a lot of what's going on between Gepetto and John Walsh's granddaughter, which is your daughter as well.
Mhm.
I forgot if I asked you in the last episode or not, but is that your only child?
Oh no, I have two other daughters. Two other daughters,
Oh,
yes. Yeah,
okay.
two other daughters, but not by her. So, yep.
Gotcha. And her name again, baby
Esther Grace
Esther.
Wall.
Esther. Biblical name. Okay. Um, so let's get to it, man. Being around Leola Brown, being around the Jacksons, man, I know you have a lot of stories.
Yeah, a lot of stories. Yeah.
Stories for days. So I'm gonna let you just do whatever you want to start with, man. You go for it.
All right. Well, right now I'm kind of like very excited about the Jafar Jackson, Michael Jackson biopic movie that's coming out.
Yeah, never thought about getting into music with Michael being your uncle?
I grew up watching their performances and listening to the music throughout my young years, but then when I got into golf, it was just something I just focused on every day.
Yeah.
And then when music was brought to my life, it was a new door that opened and I focused on that.
Jafar is extravagant. He's talented. It's so funny. I remember when he was just like smaller. Like I remember one time we were at Kim Porter's house, and basically from there, we were playing basketball. It was me, Christian. Who was the team? It was me, Christian. No. Me and Jafar versus Your Majesty and Christian Combs, and we did the 2-on-2. And then in the video that you see, Christian was making little excuses, talking about he had diarrhea and stuff.
Listen, man, when you lose it, you got all kinds of excuses, man. That's how it is.
So to see him come from that and staying over, got the chance to, be over in Havenhurst and spend time with the family. It's just like, see him grow down to actually being a sensation and being a part of this movie is extravagant. And I'm glad that I'm here to see it, because we need that voice for the second generation. Especially but you still have TJ, which is Tito's son. He's amazing too. I look up to TJ a lot, just his character and the way he carries himself and protects the legacy from everything. But
That is
Jafar,
true. I remember even it was a brief reality show the Jacksons had. And I remember
yep.
TJ was kind of like spearheading that. And
This is the video right here of Jafar wearing my Candy Fresh clothing. This clothing line was highly endorsed and stamped by Kim Porter. Long live her soul. So this one here is pretty wow. It brings back a lot of memories. Wearing the Havenhurst right there. That's the movie theater inside the Jackson house.
wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's Havenhurst.
Let's see.
Say how he likes his shirt or clothing line?
What should we talk about?
Or like when you wore them?
Like what people said about it and stuff.
Okay. Alright, so
Then after I'll stand up and show the back. Then
I see.
And let me ask you, Gepetto, what year was this?
This was 2000 and wow, that's a good question. That was 2012, 2013.
I'm looking at the colors and how vibrant they are in the jacket, and I'm like, it reminds me of those shoes that were out back in the day.
You get the ice cream shoes, right? By Pharrell.
Yeah, and also Pastry by the Simmons Daughters.
Yeah, pastries. Yeah, definitely. Because I had like an idea where I was gonna have the t-shirts come in a candy wrapper, and you have to open up a wrapper to get your t-shirt. I had like so many. It was different, man. We were trying to, but when Kim passed away, and I just lost all of the desire to even want to do the clothing line anymore.
Which is understandable, but let's back up a little bit. How did you actually come to meet Kim Porter?
Well, I was actually invited by, because I didn't know at first. I was invited by, well, actually, I think it was Miles Brown. I think it was Miles Brown, because I'm trying to remember how it happened. He was a Chris Brown's dancer. He was one of the dancers in the Wall to Wall video. His mom was like telling Kim about the clothing line because I had him put the clothing line on first. So when she seen Miles with the hat, like he had did like a little interview, she told Miles' mother to basically bring me to the house. So when I came to the house, she had an assistant by the name of LaWanda, and LaWanda, I was managed by Jermaine's ex-wife Alejandra, and LaWanda and Alejandra were friends. Very, very cool. So they were pushing for me, like, Kim, you need to check this out. That's when Jafar, Your Majesty, all of them wore it. And then from there, that was the time where Kim was like, listen, I want to stamp an approval of this clothing line. I think you should get distribution for it. Let's get on camera. Let's get on camera and endorse it. So I was like, wow. So we did that whole footage where you'll be able to see online. If you look up the Gepetto Jackson EPK, you'll see that, or behind the scenes of the EPK, you'll see like Kim Porter co-signing the stamp in Candy Fresh clothing.
And you know what's so interesting? Like, everyone I've spoken to that knew Kim, even if they only met her one time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nobody has had a bad thing to say about her.
You can't. She has a heart of gold. I mean, it's like everything is positive. Everything is enlightenment. She just was a soul. She didn't care about any money. Like I tell everybody all the time, like, what did you give Kim for her to even get on camera and endorse you? She hasn't endorsed any type of clothing or anything. Like, what made her do it? I was like, I don't know. I guess she's seen something in me, and she did it for me. Like, and it definitely changed my life. And it's something I always wear to my grave, because it's like she didn't charge me anything. She didn't ask for nothing for that, for the kids, for everybody. She just said, "Listen, I believe in you, Andre. I believe in you, Gepetto. Like, you gotta stay focused. You gotta do what you need to do."
Dang, just out of but that's how you know her intentions were real. Now, on the flip side, when it comes to Diddy, a lot of people have a lot of bad things to say. and you go through life and you be wondering, how does somebody so beautiful, like, how do they get caught up with a Diddy? But I guess the dark is always attracted to the light.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, from my personal take on that situation is, I didn't get a chance to get up close, real close with Diddy's thing, but I will say this one thing about him. Like, I remember a time where we went out, me and Quincy, which is actually Albie Short, somebody's Diddy's stepson. Me and Quincy were the closest, because he's the oldest. So, we travel together. He'll come out to Tampa sometimes, and we'll go to the studio, do some records. But this particular time, we're in Hollywood, California, at this event for this fashion show rooftop party. And we're on the roof, we're partying, and I think it's Kim Porter's brother that was bodyguarding us that night, her real brother. So we go to the rooftop, we're dancing. I feel this big hand go on my shoulder. Quincy feels the same thing on his shoulder. So he's like, man, you gotta go. We gotta go right now. So I'm like, what's going on, man? So we get in the car. well, it's just a silent ride. So I'm looking at Quincy like, what's going on? What's wrong with you? He was like, nothing, man. So we're going out, and when we go there, Diddy comes out. He's like, man, Quincy, get in the house and clean that dog crap up and get this dog. You wanted it. So when it comes to his kids, I could say like Diddy was a real father though, like because for him to take the time out to add discipline. That's if you notice with Christian and Quincy and Justin, all of them, you never really hear about them getting in any trouble or in the tabloids or nothing like that. The accusations of what happened to Miss Kim Porter, all I'm gonna say about that is her death was very, very strange, and I truly believe that something occurred. It definitely occurred where somebody wanted her out of here. It had to be because she was so healthy. There was nothing wrong with her. Then all of a sudden, she announces a tell-all and she vanishes. Like, that's weird.
I mean, a lot of people share the same sentiment. Whether they want to admit it or not, you know how like you can hear about a celebrity death and you're like, oh, okay, they were old, or oh, okay, they had a drug problem or this problem or that problem. But then you hear about some celebrity deaths and you like, that don't sit right, or that don't sound right, or that don't make sense.
Yeah, and that's the thing because it's like, because people got to remember. I remember one time, and I can speak about it now because, like, I was too afraid to ask Quincy then, but another celebrity friend had came to me and was like, "Hey, man, I know you be over there with the Combs and Kim and all of them. Do you know that she's actually talking to a guy that played in the movie ATL?" And I was like, "What? Like, what are you
Jackie
talking about?"
Long. Jackie
Yeah.
Long.
And I'm like, "What? Like, what are you talking about?" So one day we go out, we're going to the club. It was like Tank in the club. It was me, Quincy, Tank. Who else was there that night? It was like these two Asian fashion designer girls. They were real popular in California. And I guess like Tank was having a get together. So we're out there, and Jackie's like meets us in the back, and we're leaving. But he's like, "This is the big bro." So I'm just hearing about it. Then I see Jackie with Quincy. So I'm like, But I'm not gonna ask Quincy that. That was disrespect. Like I'm not gonna be like, bro, like, is this going on? This and this and that. Then I started seeing more and more of it. Then all of a sudden, everything just disappeared with that situation, and Kim gets a different house. He puts her in a different house. He buys her a bigger house with bigger cars.
Wow.
Yeah, because at first they lived somewhere else. The first house that they had, because I went to both of the houses that they had. The first house was just a random house like that. It was very, very nice, but it wasn't as nice as this one. It was man gated. This one was man gated. Bought her the baby blue Bentley at the time. The black Bentley she had the whole. I think they had the Lamborghini in there. It was serious, man. And then the house was huge.
Damn.
Yeah, man. And I'm like, what's this all about? So. And then I remember back in then they had media takeout. Media takeout
I
put it
remember.
out.
Yep.
They put out the info on it, which they really were accurate at that time. So, and every time I came over, it would be different for me to see because she would be like a regular mom. You know how you expect when you see people to be up and all high and almighty. She'll just be laying around the couch and what's up, Andre? What's up? I'll come in with Quincy. What's going on? She'll be flicking the TV normally. Like she was really down to earth. Like she was a beautiful soul, man. Kim was a very, very beautiful soul.
She definitely seemed like a very, very sweet individual. And for a lot of people, they might not get it, but Diddy didn't want her with nobody else.
Not at
keep
all.
it,
Not
just
not
keep
at
it
all.
real.
Not at all. I believe so. I believe that 100% too. And I just I'm really like kind of choiceful with my words because I don't want to offend Quincy and Christian. I love them dearly. Those like since they were small, I knew them. So it was like, and I haven't been able to reach out in a while because I just haven't been to Hollywood. But from afar, it's the disrespect to them as how they feel is just a reflection to me because we've done a lot of things together. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I get it. I get it. speak kind of moving along from that.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a conspiracy theory that, you know, when Hollywood is ready to take somebody out, they take them out. So are there some celebrity deaths that are orchestrated by the industry?
I believe that it was because I've been offered certain things in the industry in Hollywood, and it was like, you know, when I first got to Hollywood, I had certain people come to me and offer even sexual advances for things, and I was like, no sir, no way. Like, I'm not doing that for the fame. I'm not doing that for a contract. I'm not putting myself in that position to do so. You know what I
Right.
mean? So that's where my failure came. When I left, I was like, man, you know, and I have nothing against people who are gay or nothing like that or whatever, but that's whatever you choose to be, that's you, you know. But at the same time, it's just like, it's when you push that something on something to somebody that doesn't want to do that, period. You know what I mean? And you don't, listen, you're gonna do this, or it's gonna go, or you're not gonna get this. And I was like, I'm not doing that. I'm not giving those advances for that. That's not happening. That happens a lot behind the scenes in Hollywood.
I can tell because a lot of times you'll see someone who's very talented, and then you'll see someone who can't sing worth a lick, can't dance. You'll be like, how in the hell did you?
Yeah.
You know, like, you must have sucked off the right person, because how did you get there? You know, you'd be like, what? But I've heard the story time and time again of like X entertainer comes to X or Y entertainer comes to Hollywood. They maybe put out an album, or you see them in a few movies. Something happens, and then they leave Hollywood and they never return. So
Yeah, that's what happens, man. And like I said before, it's one of those things where if it doesn't fit the narrative and the campaign to the business, then basically it's going to have to be something that's demonic for it to sell. And they know that. They know that. And if you look at the industry, the majority of the industry things is demonic. It is. That's what sells. There's nothing positive that really sells unless you're like an A-list celebrity that's influential to that level, to have a foundation that respects any type of music that you put out. Other than that, they won't really respect anything. And you have to put out something that's either twisting, drama, foot filled, cheating, reality show. You know what I mean? Like, everything is
lower vibrational stuff. Lower vibrational stuff. It's not.
yeah,
It's not really positive. You're right.
yeah. It's not positive at all, and this is what they're doing. This the narrative that they're pushing in Hollywood. They've been doing this. We're just all now catching. People are just finally getting it, waking up and seeing things now, and a lot of the icons are being exposed. Like, look what happened with R. Kelly. Now it's Puff Daddy. You know, like, it's big icons that are being pushed to the forefront and exposed about their addictions and what they did behind the scenes many years ago. Look at, like, Bill Cosby. Like, it's a lot of stuff. This is all back to back in the last decade.
And it's and what kind of gets me too is, like, you know, people in the industry, they don't speak up until it's like cool to speak up. And now I'm not
Sure.
talking about victims. I'm talking about like certain people that be in the rooms doing the very same shit,
Yep.
you know, and now they're like, oh, Diddy's the devil. It's like, wait a minute, but you did a lot of shit with Diddy. You were there. Like, we know
Yeah.
that, you know.
Yeah, man. And like, my thing was, I always wondered why I couldn't. When I was in the house, a lot of the times I know Diddy was there, but like, he moved so structured, like, and closed in, that it wasn't allowed to step like in those places to actually have that conversation, because he stayed with Kim a lot, you know. And her assistant Lawanda, like, used to tell me all the time, like, you can't move a certain way. And like, if I came over to have a meeting with Lawanda, like, I couldn't move in the house a certain way. Like,
Mm.
everything had to be proposed, then pitched to the living room. Or if they were in the living room, I have to stay in the guest room until it was time to actually move around, because he'll be in the house at the same time.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow. Okay. I'm trying to picture this. So you come over, but you really can't. You can't move freely.
You can't move freely. Could you imagine like being like, okay, in a house, you'll come in and then either when I'm with Quincy, I have to stay in the room with Quincy and be in the room with Quincy. And I was even scared to like go to the bathroom. Like
Wow.
I would like tip to like but the second house that they had, I didn't have to worry about that because Quincy's room had like the bathroom that was connected inside. It was spacious, like real spacious that they had. Like so the bathroom was right there, and he had his like studio set up in the room. But I was like, man, this is different, man. Like this must be a powerful person to actually have currently date a female on TV, Cassie, but at the same time, here he is living with Kim. Like, it's weird.
Yeah. So he actually lived with Kim.
Yeah, he lived with her. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it kind of was like confusing to me as, you know, I was younger then. So it was just like, but it wasn't my business. I was just like, I'm not here for that. I'm here for the support. I'm honored to be here for her to support the clothing line, the ideas, you know, our assistant helping me and helping me push forward with the clothing line. And I never dared to ask Quincy, you know, and Christian was too young. Christian was way too young then. So,
Okay.
but I wouldn't dare ask Quincy that question, you know?
Damn, I get it. So because a lot of people watching this are gonna want to know. So let's just ask flat out: is the Illuminati real?
Yes, it's definitely real.
Oh shit.
Yeah, the Illuminati is definitely real. They exist. It's you know, you basically it's called the three. I tell everybody it's the three doors. I talked about this on another interview before.
Okay.
And the three doors, like they give you choices, like you know, to do sexual favors, to actually a sacrifice type of way, a sacrifice of humility. You know, basically you have to be humiliated at one point in your career where it's terribly, or the sacrificial of life, you know, and it's either yours or somebody else's that gives them the fame and fortune of making the money that they desire from there.
Wow. Wow. Now, do you get to pick who you sacrifice, or is it just they pick?
That I don't know because I never went that route. You know what I mean? Like I just know people in the industry who took the oath and they're now in a position where you don't hear from them anymore.
Wow.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Wow. You know, I heard Nori from Drink Champs describe the same thing that you did, the three doors. And he's like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, you can go the sexual favors way, you know, the sacrifice. He used another word instead of sacrifice. He said, or you could go the straight way on your own, but he said it's a very long road to go on your own. So I was like, oh wow, okay.
Three different ways to walk. There's to the left, there's to the right, and then there's straight. Straight is you're on your own. Let's see if you continue this success, young man. Let's see if it's all about your skills, young man. Let's really see that. And you went straight. To the right, I'm not sure if that's the homo shit right there. And then there's to the left, I'm not sure if there's some sacrifice shit going on right there. I'm not sure because I went straight. But I was offered these doors.
It's just you were offered some gay shit?
I don't, no. I'm saying that to the right when I seen it, those was those guys over there. You know what I'm saying? Those different people, which I have no problem with. You know, that's y'all. You feel me? And
Yeah, it's definitely a very long road. So you know, you have it where, like I tell people, man, it's one of them things where just don't entertain it because if it takes that for you to become something in life, to sacrifice or do something that you don't want to do, it's gonna be bad, man. Like it's gonna be terrifying. And then the drugs and everything too, all the parties and them testing you and trying to groom you, and you know they might take you to a party where there's a whole bunch of sex going on and they want you to join and do this with this person and that person. Like it's a lot, man. And this celebrity and that celebrity, it's bad.
I could only imagine. I can only imagine. I and certain things they do, man. I kind of like, even though I talk about it on the show, I really don't want to know, because once you know some stuff, you can't unknow it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Mm-hmm.
some stuff I'm like, I'd rather just not know. But it seems to be when certain people take that oath or do whatever, they can't really live with themselves.
Yeah, they really can't. It's just one of them things where they start doing more drugs. They try to find a natural high where they first started at their first success. It's like, it's like a smoker trying to find his first hit.
Yeah.
So when he doesn't, he just continues to do more and more and more and more until he self-destructs. And that's what the average artist or successor tries to do in Hollywood, because everybody in Hollywood wants to be a star. So the sales pitch, it could be a person that has a Bentley and he needs gas in his car, and you're thinking he's rich, but then you have a person that works at McDonald's and he might know Denzel Washington, and you want to believe him, but he's just working there because he wants to live the average work style of making his current income, an honest income.
Yeah.
So it's hard.
Because people forget, like, celebrities, they're people. Like, they have
Yep,
families and friends and all that stuff. And everybody doesn't want to be in the spotlight, which I understand.
Exactly.
So what if you're somebody like, kind of like me, bro, like I'm independent and I'm just kind of coming in doing my own thing? How does that work in the industry?
Independently, I mean, you said how would it work as far as when it comes to the Illuminati part, or just regularly?
Or just regularly, like, because I notice a lot of times, like, I know it'll be certain interviews I can get or certain parties I should go to, but I can't get in because I'm not connected. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's everybody that knows somebody, though. I mean, for you would, because you have a good recommendation and good interviews. You're mentioned. So you'll be like, oh, this is me. I've done this with the podcast. This person spoke about me, and they'll see it, look it up, and let you in. It's all about who knows who is what's current, what's hot, and you're a hot topic. So those things would just come and fall in your hand in Hollywood.
Wow. Damn. Okay. That's interesting. So let's kind of jump back and let's I want to make sure we didn't miss this here.
All right, yeah.
Actually, when you answer the question, say like include.
Does he stand up and show the outfit at one point?
Yep, he does. We both stand up together. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's see.
Understand exactly.
There we go.
Hold it a little bit. Stand up straight.
Yeah, the jacket is real nice.
Hey, that's the gingerbread man on the back. Yep.
I would actually wear that today in 2023.
Yeah, I might bring it back, man. Everybody's telling me to bring it back, so I might find somebody, a business partner, and bring it back. There goes me and him together right there in the Havenhurst house.
Now, what about your jacket? What you're wearing? Is that?
That's the Who frame. I think I got the Roger Rabbit one. The Roger Rabbit with the candy fresh on there.
Okay.
So maybe he could say, and here we have.
Let me go back. I would say, yeah, because your jacket looks nice too. Damn. Okay. I'm just saying, brother, you might want to bring it back, because this.
Yeah, this is something different, right? I'm
fucking with it. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, it's something different,
I could imagine myself being out wearing it, especially the jacket Jafar has on, and people are like, where'd you get that jacket from? Like, I could see that.
Yeah, Jafar loved it, man. He definitely loved it. So
now, speaking of Jafar, he's actually starring in I always say biopic. Is it biopic or biopic?
I think it's biopic. I'm a biopic. That's the same thing I said too. Is it biopic or biopic?
I say it both ways, but he's actually starring in the biopic. We'll say that, of Michael, and watching him, just, man, he's really channeling Michael.
He is the closest. You know what I mean? You had certain people, like you had B. Howard before he was on TMZ. They were saying that, he was Michael's son. He's been around the family, very talented artist. That's the closest. Other than B. Howard, there's no other. Him and Jafar are the closest to Michael to me.
Wow. And when is this movie set to come out?
It said it's supposed to be coming out in the next year. I believe so.
End of 2024. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna go see it. You know, at certain times people are trying to remake stuff with the Jacksons. And this is no shade to Flex Alexander. I don't know who the hell casted him to.
Yeah. I don't know. That was pretty weird. Like, this was the best pick. To pick Jafar was the best pick for me.
Which makes the most sense. And I guess now that he's age appropriate, it's really like all falling together.
And he's talented. Like, even his music, like he's tough, man. He's a tough one.
He even has Michael's build as well.
Yep, definitely. I was gonna do. I was gonna audition to be Jermaine, but I got too many tattoos, so I couldn't. I really wouldn't fit the part from there, But that would have been something big. But I'm just happy to sit here and support, man, and just to see how far he's came, how much he's grown as a person. And Jafar is one humble spirit. He's a wonderful kid, man. He's gonna tear it up. I know it is, man.
And that's Jermaine's. Is that Jermaine's oldest son?
No. Jermaine Jr. is his oldest son.
Okay, and because I know there's Jermaine Jr. You got
Jafar, Jermaine, Jordan, Jeremy, Jamie, and then Autumn. And
they went with an A name for the last one. Okay.
Yeah. That was by Barry Gordy's. That was by Hazel Gordy, his daughter Autumn.
By Hazel Gordy. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. But I always tell people, man, I'm the closest thing there will ever be to Jermaine.
Because a lot of people are gonna say, well, where did Gepetto Jackson come from? So did you want to get into that?
Yeah, definitely. If you want to,
let's do it.
It was from a family member that gave me the name. One of the Jacksons, they gave me the name Gepetto. You know what I'm saying? They would call me like the puppet master creator of ideas. And from there, I took it and ran with the situation. And from there, it's always been a tight knit with the family. My mannerisms coming from studying the family, the sound. If you listen to my music, my sound is definitely the Jackson influence. And from there, like I said, it's just, I don't care what anybody says. That's my family. You know what I mean? Like I don't care what they say. That's my family, man. Like I really haven't had a chance to, how could I put it? Express it in public, because everybody feels like they paint the narrative that, oh, he's self-proclaiming to get views or likes. And no, like as you can see, like I'm inside the house. I've worked with the second generation. I've been around the five, and I put my work in to, even the things that I've been through legally, like it was a stretch because of tech, because of that name. So
wow,
I worked my behind off for that position. You can find me on TikTok at Gepetto Jackson, Instagram Gepetto Jackson Official, or you can that's it. You can hit me up with those two, and follow my work. And again, if you haven't heard, my album went #1 this year. It's called Jermaine-ish, dedicated to Jermaine Jackson, my mentor, my pops, my everything. And I basically go on iTunes and download it, or Apple, Amazon, whatever you want to do.
It's Storm Show. Ay, it's Storm Show.